Hey guys, it's me, the Traveler. Hey, so I'm coming to you guys because I met a guy at work today. His name is Leo. Shout out to you, Leo. And he was just like, I was following you on YouTube because I loved your videos, and then like you stopped making them. And I was like, dang, I'm sorry. So I'm here because I wanted to talk to you guys about something actually. And that was just the importance of, like setting up 401k, short-term disability investments, things like that, because like we talked about in other videos briefly, like you don't get 401ks, insurances and stuff like that when you're a traveler. Now, there are agencies who will say like, I can give it to you. Like there's a lot of agencies who say like, oh, you want a 401k? You want insurance? Like I'll give it to you. That's great. Thank you so much for the option. However, it doesn't fit my lifestyle of traveling. If you're going to travel temporarily or something like that, then maybe. But if you're looking to do it as a long-term thing, you may switch agencies. Every time you switch an agency, you're going to lose their insurance. You're going to stop contributing to your 401k within that agency. So it's like, it's good that they offer it, but in the long run, unless you just stay with that agency all the time, it's not really going to benefit you to stay with them. So for me personally, because I do agency hop, as I mentioned before, I don't stick with the same agency. I go with whoever has what I want. And because of that, if I'm agency hopping, if I'm using 5 different agencies a year, my insurance is going to constantly keep getting stopped. And what about the times where you're taking 2 months off in between or something like that, So for me, like I said before, like I recommend if you're going to assess yourself, it may work for you. If you're only going to travel in the short term, then that's cool. But if you're going to do it as a lifestyle for some time, it's just more flexible and easier for you to just take out your own secondary insurance. How to find that would be, just for me, like I live in Florida, so I have like Florida Blue Cross Blue Shield. You are going to pay more money for it, right? So like, let's say you had a hospital job. You might pay you might pay like $200 a month for decent insurance. Or they might take $100 out each check, whatever. And so as a traveler now, if you know you have certain health ailments and you need to get like decent insurance, you might be paying $400, $500 a month, $600 a month. If you know that you're going to have a surgery coming up, or you know that you have certain things you need to take care of, you got to just bite the bullet, be responsible, and freaking pay for that insurance. Because at the end of the day, you leaving your job and becoming a traveler, I look at it like this. And this was for me personally. I went through some stuff myself that I had to make this decision as well. If I'm paying $200, let's say a month on my insurance for my job, then I leave, I become a traveler, and let's say now I'm paying $600 for really good insurance for myself. That's an extra $400 a month that I'm spending, right? But ask yourself, are you making more than an extra $400 a month by becoming a traveler? You are. You're making more than that $400 and more, So if you're making an extra $2,000 by becoming a traveler, well, now you're paying an extra $400 for insurance, or an extra $300 for insurance. It just comes with the territory of being independent, with being an independent contractor, like entrepreneur type of person. When you travel, you want to be responsible with it. You don't want to say, well, I'm going to travel. I'm not going to have insurance. I meet so many travel nurses that just don't have health insurance for any of these things. And it just, I've seen things happen to them. One girl broke her leg on an assignment, and it's just like, okay, you don't have insurance. Or what happens in between, you're losing, like that even happened to me. When I was using the agency's insurance, I lost my insurance when I ended my contract with that agency. So it just depends like what situations you want to be in. Bite the bullet, be responsible, just come out of pocket and pay that extra money, that extra $300 a month or whatever, to get your insurance, your own self-insurance, because you are making more than that back in return. That's one thing I really wanted to stress enough. Some people think insurance is a hoax, as it is, and that's fine. But for me personally, I like to have that comfort in knowing that like if something happens to me, it doesn't matter if I'm working or not working, I am always covered, and I love that, and it has benefited me a lot. Life insurance, right? Whether you have a permanent job or not, you should always have your own separate life insurance, because our jobs give us life insurance, right? Like if you have a permanent job, they give you coverage. But what happens if you quit that job, right? Let's say you started a job at 25 years old. You signed up for your hospital's life insurance. Let's say you quit at 35. That's 10 years later. Let's say you developed asthma, or you developed like something random or whatever. Just being older, if you apply for life insurance again at 35 versus 25, you're having to pay more for it. Let's say you develop some type of health ailments, you're going to end up having to pay more for it. So even if your permanent job, this is for people who are not even travel nurses, even if your permanent job offers you life insurance, you still need to go and get your own. This is just my opinion, right? You don't really have to listen to me at all, but this is just based off of my personal experience. You want to have that life insurance. It's not expensive at all. Look into there's a lot of other YouTube videos about it, right? I'm not a specialist about that, but I'm sorry. I think it's snowing where I am randomly. So look into it. There's, Northwestern Mutual, whatever, even AAA has some decent life insurance. There's all these different life insurance companies. Just pick one. You can't really go wrong. Figure out which one is best for you. Maybe the term life insurance is best for you, where it ends after you hit a certain age because you'll have enough money to cover your own stuff. Or, maybe you want the more whole life insurance, use it as investing, whatever works best for you. I would suggest you just go on one of their websites, Google, best life insurance. There's so many of them, and just talk to an advisor. It's super easy to set up. I've been helping people, my friends or family, set theirs up that don't have, because I am such an advocate for it. People, like I said, some people think insurance is like a waste of money, and that's fine if you think that way. I'm not here to change your mind at all. That's fine. Insurance is not for everybody, but it's for me, and it's for other people who like that, peace of mind. Yes, we're throwing our money down the drain for peace of mind. I've also met nurses, right? Just 2 days ago, I met this nurse and we were talking. I have much respect for her. She doesn't have insurance. She's older too. She's 60. And she's like, I don't have insurance. I'm like, oh, cool. Tell me more. And she was just saying that she has Aflac, and pretty much it's Aflac gives her some type of hospital coverage. She's never had to use it, but she doesn't have insurance. She just pays for this Aflac. And if anything ever happens, she needs to go to the doctor, she needs a scan or anything like that, she just pays cash. And I'm like, okay, honey. And she's like, I'm saving way more money. She's like, if I pay $500 a year in scans or in doctor visit or whatever, she's like, that's still less than me paying for my own out-of-pocket insurance. And I'm like, that's been working for her. Luckily nothing bad has happened to her and she hasn't had to use anything or anything like that. But to me, I'm like, just my luck, I'm gonna get hit by a car next week. You know what I'm saying? Knock on wood. And I'm not pessimistic. I just know, and I think it's the ER nurse in me. I just know that life happens so fast. She was an ER nurse too, and that's fine. No judgment. Everybody that's what I'm saying here. There's no judgment if you decide to go this path or not. This is just some advice, on my path and how I feel, but it doesn't work for everybody. And if you haven't realized yet about my channel, is that everything is case by case, right? I don't really like giving generic advice. I really prefer to sit down and talk to people one-on-one and really just kind of get a feel of their life and what might work best for them, and then give you advice. But with YouTube, I can't do that. So just really assess yourself and see what works best for you, which option may work best for you. And then of course they have certain insurances. One of my best friends, she's a travel nurse too, and she has the cheap insurance. You pay $200 a month. You can't use it for the first 6 months or something, and it's the group insurance type of stuff, and it's pretty much for healthy people, and that's great too. But if something happens to you, sometimes you end up having to pay a lot, right? And I guess for me, I'm the kind of person where I'd rather pay a lot for insurance now, and then if something happens, even for me, right? Last year I ended up getting really sick, not from COVID, just other things, and I ended up having to stay the night in the hospital and whatever, and surgery. I mean, it was this whole big shebang. I only paid $300 for everything because my insurance was great, right? If I didn't have that insurance or whatever, I would have had to have paid so much more money, thousands of dollars, met deductibles, met this, met that. I'd rather just pay higher money for insurance, and then when the time comes that I may not be working or whatever, if something happens to me, I feel secure knowing that I'm not going to end up with this huge hospital bill. Anyway, so that's that on that, right? Get you some life insurance, whether you have a temporary or permanent job, because you want to get locked in at that. It's going to get higher and higher as you get older. So you want to get locked in at that rate. And no matter if you get a permanent job or not, just keep that life insurance. You're paying, maybe you can get one for, that's $12, $13 a month. Life insurance is very cheap. Get you something, the bare minimum, just so that if something happens to you, your family has some money for your funeral or whatever, right? All right. And then, what was the other thing I wanted to tell you guys about? It was insurance, life insurance, short-term disability, things like that. Same thing. Whoever you sign up with your life insurance, talk to them about short-term disability packages, because the thing about travel nursing is, sometimes I don't work for 3 months. Sometimes I don't work for 2 months in a row, whatever. But, you know, with travel nurses, our money starts to deplete after some time. You can only live off of your savings or whatever. And kind of like you don't want to do that, but you only want to do that for so long. So on, you know, orthopedics, I think like, you know, I work orthopedic surgery as well, like PACU. And that's something that it's really hit me. Like there's so many orthopedic injuries, right? Like, so you have these people, they broke their leg, they broke their ankle, whatever, and they can't work now for 3 months. And I'm just like, dang, what would I do if I couldn't work for 3 months, you know, like, and not get paid? And it's like, I could live, I save for that, right? But imagine if something happened to you even longer than that. You want to have some type of short-term disability as a travel nurse because you don't have a job that's going to give you PTO or that's going to give you these things, you know? And so it's like, you kind of just have to look out for yourself more. Once again, that's not that expensive either. You might be paying, you know, like $300 or something a year just to have something where if you're not working and stuff like that for after 3 months, they start giving you a portion of your salary and stuff. Really easy to apply for these things. It's better to do it while you're younger and have like no or minimal, you know, ailments. You can still get it if you have sicknesses. Of course, you're not excluded. But I'm just saying, if you're like young and watching this and you're like, I don't really know if I should get this. I don't really need it. I'm young. That's when you need to get it. Like, even for me, I wish I got it earlier. I wish these things that I'm telling you guys about, I am telling you about them because I didn't get them till later. You know, I mean, not late, but like, I wish I got it when I first started. Like, when I became a nurse, I was 21. I wish I got these things when I was 21, 22, 23. Like, I got them way later after that, like late 20s, you know? And so I'm just saying, based off of what I've learned, this is what I want to tell you guys. It's really something I'm passionate about right now because I'm seeing a lot of travel nurses kind of fall out of the game because they get sick or something happens to them and they just weren't prepared for that because they were just living really like spontaneously, just traveling. And it's like, yeah, you can be spontaneous and you can travel, but please, like, let's do it like responsibly. You know what I'm saying? I know I was talking really fast because I didn't want to have a really long video. All right, guys. Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I hope everybody is doing okay. I will try to come on here and make some videos. Follow me on my Instagram if you haven't, because I'm actually going to start doing some live videos on my IG. So I'll just kind of do some live videos. You can pop in and just like ask questions or whatever. It'll probably just be like 30 minutes at a time or whatever. So I really am passionate about travel nursing, and I really just like, I don't know everything, right? But there's so many things I've learned that I've been doing it and for all these years and stuff. And I just kind of want to share that with you guys so that you have more information when you are making an educated and informed decision for yourself. All right, guys, much love. Peace out.